Spending time with family and friends makes the holidays special, but after losing a loved one, this can be an especially difficult time of the year. KVUE's Shelton Green is live at the Central Christian Church with this story, all new at 6. Shelton?
Ron, right now behind me, people are just now starting to arrive for what will be the 14th annual dedication of what is called the Angel Tree. Now, in about half an hour from now, families from all over Central Texas will march into the Central Christian Church for the same solemn occasion. After a brief ceremony, many of the attendees here will put angels on a Christmas tree. Ornaments in the shape of angels bearing the names of someone they knew who either survived or fell victim to violent crime. Now, if you've never been close to a victim of violent crime, then it may be tough to understand what this means to the healing process. Again, the hour-long ceremony starts in about half an hour. We'll have the full details on the Night Beat at 10. For now, reporting live from downtown Austin, Shelton Green, KVUE News.
Shelton, thank you. A very special Christmas tree is lit in memory of the victims of violent crime.
For 14 years, the Angel Tree has helped to bring comfort to those who are grieving. And of course, that grief multiplies during the holidays. KVUE's Shelton Green is live at the Central Christian Church with more on how they're banding together. Hi, Shelton.
Hey, Christine. As you well know, many victims of violent crimes feel like no one else really understands what they're going through. Well, earlier tonight, they drew strength from each other here. They lined up single file, waiting to put angel ornaments on a Christmas tree. But there's nothing ordinary about this service, this tree, or these people. Their lives have all been touched by violent crime.
It allows me to have tribute to my brother and also to share in the loss and the grief that others experience.
Kathy Collins was at the first angel tree lighting 14 years ago after her only brother was brutally murdered in 1990.
It's such a dark time when you do go through a loss, and the holidays are extremely difficult. And I believe it helps people to come together in what other form or fashion to do a tribute to their loved one and also to bond with others who have lost loved ones to violent crime.
This is my best friend Stacy and her mom Cinda, and they were murdered September 9th, 1998.
For other victims, strength is also derived from others here who can relate to the grief of an unexpected loss to violence.
All the other people that come here go through the same things that we do.
And it helps you to be around people who have been through it.
People that can understand.
Understanding which leads to the healing process.
That there's light, and the light is life, and life continues on.
Now, by the way, the Angel Tree is sponsored by People Against Violent Crime. It's a program which started here in Austin, but it has since spread out throughout the whole state. In downtown Austin, Shelton Green, KVUE News Night Beat.
Tonight, friends and family unite to remember the victims of violent crime. Good evening, I'm Robert Hadlaw.
And I'm Michelle Vias. Hundreds gathered in a downtown Austin church for the annual A Tree of Angels. KXAN's Julie Shields is live at the Central Christian Church in downtown with more. Hi, Julie.
And Robert and Michelle, right now violent crime is going down here in Travis County, but in fact it ebbs and it flows. And while there were hundreds of victims here, it certainly doesn't change the pain that these families face or the fact that so many victims were remembered here tonight. They come with love, dignity, and a quiet sadness to honor and remember those who died at the hands of a violent criminal. For Janelle Austin, the pain never goes away. She lost her mother, Barbara Hill, and her sister, Jeanette Johnson, in April 2002. This year, Guylan Allen was sentenced to death for their murders.
You can pretty much understand that, death is inevitable, when you're sick or something like that, or an accident. But it's hard to accept when it's just where someone comes in and just does it for no reason. It's harder to understand because you have more questions. You can't really answer a reason as to why someone would be taken, in a violent way.
A Tree of Angels doesn't offer an explanation. Those who have lost a loved one to violent crime hang an angel on the tree. This year, organizers anticipated more than 600 angels and had to find a new, larger tree.
I really feel strong that the word has gotten out, because when I'm asked about a tree of angels, I really can't explain a tree of angels. I always say it can only be experienced but never explained.
For the hundreds who gather, it reminds them they're not alone and allows them to share and hopefully help others from being victimized.
Because the stronger the bonds between us are, the stronger our neighborhoods are, the stronger we are against crime.
And this is the 14th year for the Tree of Angels, and it's something that's catching on worldwide. In fact, just this week, Australia had its first one. Back to you.
Julie, thank you very much.
The holidays can be a very difficult time for people who have lost loved ones. Tonight, a group renewed its tradition of helping those who've lost family members to violent crime.
New at 10, Jenny Blankenship joins us live from Austin's Tree of Angels to explain. Jenny?
Well, Fred, this is it, the 14th annual Tree of Angels. It stands 9 feet tall, 2 feet taller than it has in years past, because it has just gotten so full of ornaments over the years. Each ornament on this tree represents a person who has lost his or her life to a violent crime. But all of us can learn a lot from this tree and the people who hang the ornaments here when it comes to grieving during the holidays.
It's an old tradition to trim a tree, but for the Cox-Reaney family, hanging an ornament on this tree is a new one.
Started, I think the first year was 3 years ago, and it just kind of was, it was a nice way to honor them.
Her brother-in-law and sister, Donald and Colleen Cox-Reaney, were killed by a drunk driver in May 2002, and their memories hang with hundreds of others on the 14th annual Tree of Angels. It was founded by People Against Violent Crime because the holidays are an especially tough time for grieving families. But the somber ceremony is healthy, according to experts like Kathy Gerling. She's vice president of Gerling Hospice, which assists the terminally ill, and she deals with death and dying daily.
I think it's very important that we're allowed to grieve as a community. It brings people together, it gives people a forum to express their feelings, and also gives them validation that I'm not the only one who feels this way.
Gerling also suggests honoring a loved one with a tribute or starting a new holiday tradition like this one, but she has a golden rule for grieving.
I think you really have to give yourself permission to grieve in your own way.
Some are alone, others arm in arm. Some laugh, some cry, but they all know.
And there are good days and there are bad days, and you know that I don't think it's ever gonna change.
You know, for a lot of the victims of violent crimes and their families, justice is a very important step in the grieving process. And I tell you, it's no coincidence that this tree happens to sit in a church that is right around the corner from the Travis County Courthouse, where many of these people got justice. Now, if you want to come and see it, it is at Central Christian Church, and that is on the corner of 13th and Guadalupe. Judy?
Tough time of year for many folks. Thank you, Jenny.